feeling much better now. I got sick. It's something that happens. Life moves on. I promise you this time around I'm going to bring much more energy and excitement. I'm not 100% yet, but I'm back to a high enough level that I can function as I normally would. Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Lyle, and this is WNBA Weekly. We're going to start just by talking about some of the major storylines from the first month of the season. First of all, Minnesota has started the year 7-0. They're just a few wins away from tying the league record for consecutive wins to start a season, which is 10-0, set by them just a few years ago. Chicago is at the top of the Eastern Conference with a 5-1 record, second in the league. Their only loss of the season coming against Minnesota, and that was only a 3-point game. So they're performing pretty well, especially if you consider that they're missing 3 of their starting 5 players from last year. And then Tulsa, they're 0-5. It's a bad way to start the season, but 4 of their 5 losses have come by just 4 points or less. And the one exception being to the Phoenix Mercury. They lost by 20 points against them. But Phoenix has been a great team this season. They're 4-1 on the year and second in the West. Third in the league. You know, a few stats have stood out to me so far. Did you know that there are 3 players in the league currently averaging double-doubles? 2 of them you might have heard of, Tina Charles and Alana Larkins. But the third one is Jessica Breland, who I've never even heard of before this season started. She's been in the league 4 years, and every single year has been with a different team. Last year was the first season that she actually played 30 games in a season, and yet so far this year her averages are more than double what they were last year in every category. She's having a career season. So it'll be interesting to see her place in the rotation once they start getting Fowles and Prince back. Other statistical leaders include Maya Moore leading the league with over 27 points a game, Alana Larkins leading the league with 12 rebounds per game, Courtney Vandersloot leads the league with 9 assists per game, Minnie Harrington leads the league with nearly 3.5 steals a game, and Griner once again leading the league in blocks, averaging 3.8 per game. And in case you hadn't noticed already, the All-Star ballot is now live. Voting began on Wednesday, and now you can go there once a day. You have to log in to register to get an account in order to vote, because they want to make sure that you don't vote more than once in a 24-hour period. So anyways, you can go online, you can cast your vote for your favorite players to see them in the All-Star game. Voting ends on July 2nd, and here are a few games you can look forward to this coming weekend. Friday starts with Indiana at Washington, they both currently have the 2 longest winning streaks in the Eastern Conference. They've both won the last 3 games straight. They're both led by a young veteran point guard. They struggled early in the season, but they seem to be getting their act together. But only one of these teams can stay undefeated. Well, neither of these teams is undefeated. What I mean by that is only one of these winning streaks can stay alive. Next, you got Phoenix at Tulsa. Phoenix has been playing consistently great all season long. They've only got 1 loss on the year, and that was only a 4-point game. Meanwhile, Tulsa has been playing consistently great as well, but they haven't equated to wins. But all of their losses have come by 4 or less points, so they're knocking on the door. The one exception being that their loss to Phoenix was by 20-something points. So I get they're kind of hoping to avenge that. I think they should come with some fire. Then you've got Los Angeles at Chicago. They're meeting for the first time this season. They've got 2 MVP candidates going at it, Elena Delle Donne versus Candace Parker. So that should be fun and interesting to watch. Chicago, 3 of their starting 5 from last year are not playing right now, and they haven't skipped a beat. Their only loss was a 3-point loss to the defending champions. And meanwhile, LA though, they've lost the last 2 games in a row, and in both of those losses, they've given up more than 90 points, and they are now facing a team that scored 100 in their last game. I always thought LA was a good defensive team. They're definitely going to have to step it up in this contest. Then you've got Minnesota at Seattle, which means Minnesota's going to win their 8th. Crystal Langhorne is doing better than I thought. I already knew she was a great player, but she's done an excellent job buying into the system. She's been a great leader for this team. But right now it started seeming like the Storm, they're not going to get, because they're going until Bird gets back to form and gets her rhythm. It's hard to see them doing anything against, the best team in the league. Then you've got Indiana at Connecticut. Indiana, with a 3-game winning streak, they've managed to climb into the playoffs, while Connecticut, they're trying to get out of the basement. They don't want the #1 overall pick 2 years in a row. Nobody does. Then on Sunday, you've got 2 games, both of them being played at 3 in the afternoon. The first one, Washington at New York, and the East Coast shuffle continues. Both of these teams have played well at times, bad at others. Season's still pretty young, but this game, by the time this one's played, we'll have a bit of a clearer picture of how things are shaping up. Last time they played, the Mystics won by 8 points on their home floor. Let's see if they can go to the Garden and do the same. So far, they are undefeated on the road this season. Then you've got Minnesota at Los Angeles. A lot of people in the preseason, they were picking Los Angeles to win it all. And many would have thought that this would be a battle between 2 undefeated teams. It's not, though. This is going to be a great contest to watch. LA, their roster is so stacked with talent, they're capable of winning any contest. So it's a little perplexing to me as to why they're struggling early on in the season. LA can win this game, and if they do manage to pull it off, then my opinion of them is definitely going to improve greatly. But that's it for today. Tune in on Monday for another all-new edition of WNBA Weekly. Until then, this has been the Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lyle. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the games.